going to the United States. When the job to do, all my kids are crying. When are you coming back? Hello? I haven't seen my wife and my children 8 years now. It's working? The network is bad.
Living in a retirement community is something that I never thought I'd be here, but time does march on.
One lady told me if I need help for the citizenship exams, one of the residents is available to help me. I said, okay.
The first time we met Eric, I was nervous and he was a little bit nervous. When you look at the list of questions, I honestly don't think I could have passed that test. Who makes the federal laws?
You love your kids and then you can provide them what they need.
Not to have seen his own family for 8 years, that to me is unbelievable.
I knew if I did not get the United States citizenship, I cannot go back to Ghana.
What is an amendment? Often do we elect a senator?
Who was president during the Great Depression?
Our organization, since 2018, because of an idea that a resident had to really support our team members, we have 200 new U.S. citizens who are voting, many for the first time today, which is powerful, How many of you have love as a terminology that's used between your residents and your team members? This is a deep connective tissue issue, and it's one that everyone in this room shares. How many of you are here because of generational sacrifice? You have to have your hand up. There's no one who's in this room today without generational sacrifice. Someone in your lineage went through what Eric and family are going through, either by choice or by force. So we all have this story. We all own this story. You want to know what happened with the rest of the family? So they arrived. Sandra and kids are here in the United States. Now, Sandra actually works for Goodwin Living. Children are U.S. citizens. Sister, Mary, also a U.S. citizen. So it's a family thing. It makes a huge impact on us as an organization and certainly in the lives of Eric and his family. So there are a few things about the program that are tremendously important for us. This deep sense of connection and pride. So the idea came from a resident in 2018 who was watching what was going on with team members, people who were giving back resources back to their home countries. For us, we are based in Northern Virginia, DC. We have about 40% of our team members are from the global workforce. And 25% of those individuals are not yet US citizens. So this resident, Rita Siebenhaller, said, I'm noticing that people would love to become US citizens, but they can't save enough. There's no way for them to save enough dollars because they're giving either back to their families in their countries or just trying to survive in America where it's expensive. And so within 2 weeks of the idea hatching, we had $40,000 donated to our foundation in support of this effort. And subsequently, for 6 years, we've been able to really have that deep connection. And a couple of years ago, we decided, wouldn't it be even more powerful if we had residents actually being tutors with our team members? And that is what you saw here, with Jill and Carl being the tutor team for Eric and for his success. And do you think that makes deeper connections? That's where the love comes from. That's where the love comes from. Also, our team members feel seen. Every one of our team members that is part of Goodwin Living will tell you the best part of being in their communities is that they are viewed as people, not just there to provide service. That our residents truly, deeply care about them as individuals. How many of us can say that? This has an impact on longevity, We know that our team members that go through citizenship stay at least 1 year longer with the organization. So if you're looking for retention strategies, this is one of those retention strategies. Overall, as an organization, our turnover is about 27%. We think that is something we need to work on. We also know that it is quite low relative to a lot of other organizations. One of the reasons why people like to stay with us on average 6 years is because of this connection, because of this familiar connection. And as I mentioned, our foundation has been involved with the work. So if you have a philanthropic side to your business, I know not everyone does in this room, but for us, this has been a tremendous lift for our foundation. We probably spend about $150,000 on helping individuals become U.S. citizens, but we've raised well over $1 million in terms of interest for the program. So it's a lot of wins if you see. For us, and for us in the room, we all know this information. We're in the peak right now of older adults becoming 65. So it used to be the 10,000 a day. We're actually at 12,000 a day right now. So in the next 10 to 15 years, we're likely to see that population come our way in terms of service opportunities. And we're experiencing the lowest birth rates. So I tell my kids, hey, I have no concerns for you. You're going to have jobs, I'm pretty sure. There's just not going to be enough workforce to provide all the services that are needed, especially to the older adult population that's growing so quickly. So outside of everyone having babies, which is one pathway as a country we can choose to go down, you can see news headlines right now. China's trying to do that. It's not working so well. Others are trying to come back at that. This is a global phenomenon. 90% of countries are going through this. Outside of having more babies, we have to do something different. For us, we have to compete for the global workforce. That's our belief. We have to be a place of intentional welcome. We have to make the process easy for people to come and thrive in our country. And we have to be able to really compete. This is something that is happening, a lot for many years. People have been recruiting from the Philippines, for example. When we talk with providers, they're not competing against other companies anymore when they're in the Philippines. They're competing against governments like Germany that's providing $1 billion of resources to the Philippine government to send nurses to their country. So if you think this is not going to impact you and an issue that's already there, which is staffing and being able to have more team members, absolutely. So if your organization's not deeply connected to immigrant populations within your markets, now's a great time. Become that intentional place of welcome for all, and then see how it impacts your staffing. We as an organization are really clear. We want to share. Everything we do, mistakes, successes, we want to share. So if you're interested to pursue something similar in the citizenship pathways, we have a whole playbook for you. You can go to goodwinliving.org and download that today. We celebrate our citizens every year through a citizenship celebration. Brings our residents, our team members together. It is one of the most impactful programs that we do as an organization. Additionally, we welcome in outside individuals. So we're able to invite our political folks around us. Just this last time in September, we did it on Constitution Day, where we celebrated our citizenship program. We had representatives from our senators' offices, our representatives' offices, the local government officials, all were in the room together. And that has already provided dividend for them coming back to us and saying, well, hey, could you help us with this program? Or what about that program? So you now create that connective tissue within the community. And if you would like this documentary to be played where you're at, I think you're getting into the film business maybe, Michael, a little bit, because we've got a few documentaries that people can get. But we'd love to be able to have you do that as well. You can go to the testdocumentary.com. This has been a film, a documentary that really came from a story, actually. So this started in 2018 with us. A Washington Post article was written about the program, and 2 American University professors, which read it. They both were crying separately as they were reading the article, and they came together as a team and said, we have to make this story. We have to bring this out in a documentary form. So That's another good lesson for us as providers. You have stories to tell. Don't hide the stories. Elevate the stories. Lift up those stories. Allow the public around you to hear what's going on with the great work that you're doing. And if this can be a catalyst for you to share more stories, you want to play this documentary where you're at, we'd be honored to do that. It's working its way possibly through Oscar consideration, so we'll see. But at the end of the day, the most important part is we get to help a lot of people like Eric and his family on their journey to thrive. So thank you very much.